and the Akali that are, or rather the Jace and the Akali, both of which are not available. But Jax has slowly been climbing as a pick that I think does not only well into the Gwen, but also has considerable undervalue into the Lee with the Counter-Strike. In terms of 2v2 games, those early game threats, then the prowess of a straight-up 5v5 in the later stage of the game should be exceptional for KT. Just get there. It's easy, VODS.
Yeah, just get there and win. Seems easy enough.
Yeah, just skill.
That has been kind of the strategy for a lot of teams, actually, in the LCK.
Yeah.
Just scale, and don't worry about the early game. It's fine, because it's the LCK. Orianna's picked here once again. I'm not really sure how to feel about Orianna currently. It's got a win rate that's pretty decent, as Arya decides, okay, I'm going to go for a ward, and he has to flash. So not only do you have a chance to gank everything to help out Arya without his summoner.
Cool, Wave is pushing. It's going to be a really good ganking opportunity here. Rascal only has Ignite.
Okay, they're going for it. He's in the mist as jumping in here is Owner. The knockup comes in, and first blood will be handed over to Owner on the Xinjiang. Well, this is basically what we expected. The charm is going to miss, and it will be the kill. Faker does have to flash for it. Follow-up hook onto Gideon, but, you know, not the cleanest, but it doesn't matter because they got the job done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you have to trade
here, sorry, got to be careful. Big engage on the bottom side from Life. It looks like bunch of damage on the Keria, but the hook follow-up onto the bottom side. Keria will go down. Nice zap here from aiming, but the fact that they're able to trade one back is very nice for the T1 bot lane. Take a little bit of a look what happened here was Hex Flash, actually. We got a play on Live. The hook comes down, and Owner and Keria are trying to kill this Orianna. They will get the job done. Keria, very worth that he picks up the kill there. He deserves it, I suppose. Okay.
I think Zeus is not very happy.
He's not having a great time up here, actually. He is trying to get on top of Rascal here. The flash comes down as Faker is making his way up, but he decides, well, the Lee Sin.
That is not a situation that is feeling great as...
Oh, the kick, but the smite goes the way of Owner. We've seen that kick away and smite win from Lee Sins all the time, but
come on,
it did not happen. And Guma is just soloing Mountain Drake as this is happening. T1 are getting really everything at this point.
T1 are really that 9-0, and they also avoided that game number 1. It looked like a moment like it might happen after all, but clearly didn't. And with how this game has been going, yes, I think Rascal has been doing an exceptional job on the top side of the map, but outside of that, you have Arya, who has struggled so much as...
Yeah, this is a rewatch of what happened down on the bottom side. Keria just going a bit aggressive with the Hex Flash. Not sure about it, but I suppose he trades one back. Nice little grab at him into hook combination there.
And this is the play that we saw earlier, as it is just
no more replays, please. Not in this series. There's just way too much action. Zeus is trading very aggressively under this turret, but they don't know where the Lee Sin is. Meanwhile, I guess he just vigiled her to death.
You know it's a crazy game when the LCK observers can't keep up. Like that doesn't happen often.
First time ever.
10 minutes in, 9 kills.
Wow.
Unheard of.
Setting records.
Specifically in LCK gameplay, just want to reiterate that. There are other regions where this happens a lot more often. But we're not used to it. But if we look at who benefits most, then it is obviously the 6-skill T1, especially considering that Gumayushi sitting on 3-0 Aphelios, and that doesn't end well.
Looking for it here. The point-blank charm is going to be enough. Faker sets it up beautifully, and once again, his team is right there. We talked about it before. I mean, Arya's just not going to have a fun time in this game, and the flash loss at level 1 is just making it worse.
And I love the play from T1. They're playing so well around the pick potential that this Ahri has, right? Like, consistently doing so as, Keria's playing very aggressive.
He's having so much fun.
He's having a lot of fun. And then Guma actually being able to get the kill here. With the
feels like 200 years ago that happened.
Or rather, the jury's still out on Ahri, although this is obviously a very, very convincing game thus far. I do know that Orianna has not the play. I feel like you need something that can dodge charms, maybe. or mitigate the dashes. We saw Vega hover. Do you feel like Vega would have been? I think Vex is a possibility as well.
Yeah, we got a fight down here, up here on the top side as Rascal will go down. Zeus just gonna kill him under the turret. And this time, Rascal getting a little bit overeager. Maybe trying to make something happen for his team, but he gets punished.
Well, something is happening, but it's not a good thing for KT, unfortunately for them, as they will probably get zoned off of the turret here as well.
Yeah. He's so crazy.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. And they got the first roam with Faker coming in as well. And even if Arya was here, right? Like, he's sitting on a Lost Chapter and a Blasting Wand. I don't think a 9-0 call here is premature, because this is just utter domination from T1 here. Now, of course, after last game, let's calm down a little.
They've shown a propensity to have a bit too much fun. Channel their inner LEC. As we're getting in there, KT is trying to make a play happen, but Gumayusi is going to get some room. Owner is in the back line, but he's still fighting. He's still going forward. As that shockwave, it looked like it did negative damage. As a follow-up hook, and Keria is still alive, finally goes down, but he enables a couple more kills, and it might even be another one. Aiming is trying to make another thing happen. As a fight on the top side, finally Rascal will find the solo kill, but what does it matter at this?
Almost every 1v1. There's, of course, scenarios where you don't, but that's kind of what the champion does.
I love how we cut back to this.
Yeah, the solo kill doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That is an unfortunate scenario, because I was maybe expecting some KT performance like we saw them have against Gen G.
Yeah,
Gen G, of course, a team with their own issues, but...
Okay, well, we're going to have the engage here on a Faker. He's stunned from 100 to 0. Even a rocket sails by, which they did not need. But just to add insult to injury, watch this. There are objective bounties already on the map. So they're going to pick up this Drake and get some extra gold on the back of it here for KT.
Well, that's good. That's something at least. And do remind you that as much as we're joking around, and especially considering how the first game went, I think that is completely warranted. KT has a comp that scales monstrously well. And yes, they are very far behind in terms of items. But this is not like game number 1, where T1 can sit on their lead and just like have fun, right? And go in and auto nexuses and then get taken down and then do it again and again and again. You do need to make sure that the amount of gold that's being funneled into KT doesn't get too far out of hand. Now, with the lead that you have, it's still almost 4K. As I say, the turret goes down to 4.3K. There's still a Herald available. So all that is required from T1 is to just play it out. Honestly, at this point, if you group and you start shoving down more of these objectives, you should be in a prime position, because your 1-4 or 1-3-1, the Faker part of that into Arya is going to be great. Zeus into Rascal, not so much.
Yeah, and I love how Rascal is really trying to abuse that side lane. He is just pushing relentlessly, essentially, never giving any time over to Zeus to get any items or to do anything really. And so that is the one thing that's going very well for KT, I suppose. Everything else, not so much. As we do have a bit of pressure over here around this blue buff. Just total vision denial from the side of T1, which is really nice to see.
I thought Carrier was going to go. Oh,
Gideon?
Goodbye.
You're playing into Ahri and Thresh. That ain't it. You don't have vision. I mean, somebody's got to go in there and try to get vision back, but I don't think you can really do it alone at this point.
Do they? There's no objective up.
True. They don't need to do it right now.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I mean, definitely eventually.
Okay, life is Leona. Do they have the damage to push through the Eclipse? Gumayusi certainly thinks so, as the ult comes down! And the nuke from long range. Gumo will pick up another kill.
That's another turret going down here. It's unlike game number 1, T1 are clearly saying, well, we have the lead. Let's actually play it out. Let's show that game number 1 was just us having a little bit too much fun. And I like the build from Rascal, as you're pointing out. I think that side laning is your only option as KT, but then the core issue is, as we see there, is that the engage for T1 is great. You win in only a single side lane, so yes, Nashor's Tooth is going to have a lot of value there. But
it's going to kill you, I guess.
It also doesn't matter, right? Like, even if that wasn't there, there's just
FAKER.
You don't need to go up as, oh, Rascal.
Yeah, he's trying to make this happen here, no mist, and Rascal, he maybe even go down to just FAKER. Here come the needles, though, as the hook comes in, and 3v1 is enough to, in fact, take out the Gwen.
Key thing there with the Gwen, of course, is just making sure that she can't get the multi-man needles. That's when the champion truly feels unfair, and with the amount of CC available there from T1, very nicely done. Not going to give any such window into the game. Arya is just side laning, will now have finished his Luden's Echo, but overall the itemization of T1 is so far ahead. And the point I was talking about where you might look at KT being able to match again with the gold deficit that they're working from right now, you're talking those two aces from the previous game, gotta really need to get those again.
Yeah,
I don't think that T1 will give you an opportunity. It's kind of a shame because
as I think T1 at this point, maybe they could go for a 20-minute Baron, but as you mentioned before, probably just want to get rid of as many mistakes as possible.
And that forces the flash. All Zeus needs and wants to do is just try and hold the wave as much as he can. Does have the teleport available, so does Rascal. And this is an extremely early Baron. The damage is very much relevant. And KT, with how far behind I can't fault them for not going for it. But at the same time, giving this over might mean your base is going to be in shambles.
Yeah, they're just going to give it over. The TP comes in, and there's no way for Gideon to get in the pit. And they might even get some bonus kills on the backside of it. As Life, he's trying to frontline. He will have to give his life away. As you see, Guma picks up yet another one, 6-0-2. Keria, he's not done yet. He picks up the hook after the flash. He really just, oh man, what an insane player. We are getting into the base now, and T1, I mean, maybe they just end it with Baron.
I think they could very well. There is no power available here whatsoever for the remaining members of KT, and 2 inhibs down at 21 minutes. What a dominating performance here from T1.
Yep, they're just going to go in there. KT, one last defense, but I don't think anything's going to come of that. Guma, 2-fed. Gideon able to pick up 1, and actually we did get aiming with the kill from the fountain. Some low health bars, but Guma still up and fighting. Will T1 stick around? You know, after game number 1, I think they will, as they are going to take down Arya with a flash charm. It's a triple kill now for Guma. As aiming, you know, he's jinxed, but he's not quite as fed. It's not quite as late as game number 1. And I think T1 can just get the job done, clear the minions, and attack the Nexus. They'll go for the kill first onto aiming. Here comes FAKER. He'll let the W try to do it, but he's not even going to get the kill. GG, T1 take it down with 20 kills in about 21 minutes.
Undefeated in the first round robin.